Have you ever felt this way? You want something big. You can see it clearly. The life you want, the person you want to become, the success you know you are capable of. You think about it, you talk about it, you feel it almost within reach. And then morning comes, and you don't move. You say tomorrow, you say after this, you say when I feel ready, and somehow tomorrow keeps arriving without you in it. If you have ever been full of ambition but struggled to act on it, if you have ever been your own biggest obstacle, then this story is for you, because it may change the way you see yourself forever. Once upon a time, in a small coastal town where the sea breeze came through every window and the smell of salt was always in the air, there lived a young woman named Sofia. Sofia was 26 years old. She was bright, capable, and full of fire when she spoke about her future. She told her friends with absolute confidence, "One day, I will run my own business. I will build something this town has never seen. People will come to me. I will create work for others. I will make my family proud." Everyone who knew Sofia believed her. She had the mind for it. She had the personality for it. She had, sitting right in front of her, a small inherited workshop from her grandfather. Tools, space, and a location on the main street that any entrepreneur would have been grateful for. But the workshop sat locked. Month after month, the shutters stayed down. The tools gathered dust. Because Sofia had one problem. She could dream better than almost anyone she knew, but she could not begin. When mornings came, she told herself she needed more time to plan. When afternoons passed, she said she was still researching. When evenings arrived and nothing had been done, she promised herself that tomorrow would be different. She had notebooks full of ideas, beautiful, detailed, ambitious ideas that had never once been touched by action. Her older aunt, a woman named Rosa who had built a small but steady tailoring business over 30 years of consistent work, came to visit one afternoon. Rosa stood outside the locked workshop and looked at the shutters. She looked at the weeds that had begun to grow along the front step. She said nothing for a moment. Then she turned to Sofia. "You told me 6 months ago you would open by the end of that month. What happened?" Sofia waved her hand lightly. "Auntie, I'm still getting ready. I need to do it properly. I'll start soon. When the time is right, it will happen fast. You'll see." Rosa had heard versions of this before, many times, not just from Sofia, from others she had watched over the years. People who were gifted, people who had everything except the one thing that mattered most. She reached into her bag and produced 2 small envelopes. She placed them both in Sofia's hand. "Open them," she said. Sofia opened the first. Inside was a single small seed. Dark, smooth, the kind that looked like it held something serious within it. "That," Rosa said, "is what I am going to call the ambition seed. If you plant it, water it every day, tend to it with patience and consistent effort, it will grow slowly at first. But in time, it will become something strong, something that gives shade, fruit, and a foundation you can build a life on." Sofia opened the second envelope. Inside was another seed, lighter in color, almost ordinary looking, unremarkable. "And that one," Rosa said quietly, "is the comfort seed, the do-it-tomorrow seed. Plant this one and it will grow without any effort from you at all. It needs nothing, no water, no care, no attention. It simply spreads, quietly, steadily, until it has taken up every inch of the ground where your ambition was supposed to grow." She looked at Sofia directly. "Both seeds are already inside you. They have been for years. The question is not which one you want. The question is which one you are feeding every single day, whether you realize it or not." Sofia held both envelopes and felt certain of her answer. Of course she would tend the ambition seed. She wanted success. She wanted to build something. She had never wanted anything else. But the next morning came, and the workshop stayed locked. She told herself she would start after she finished one more course she had been watching online, after she designed the logo properly, after she sorted out the supplies, after. Weeks passed. Then one afternoon, Sofia walked past the workshop and stopped. Something was different. Along the front step, where she had done nothing, planted nothing, tended nothing, something had grown. Not flowers, weeds. Dense, low, spreading weeds that had crept across the entrance without her noticing, day by day, until now they covered the step entirely. And along the far wall of the workshop, in a small pot she had placed there months ago with a single plant she had genuinely intended to tend, that plant was yellowed, barely alive, bent sideways from neglect. She stood there for a long moment. Her aunt appeared behind her as if she had been waiting. "Sofia, look at what you didn't do." Sofia looked at the weeds, then at the dying plant. "Your workshop is your life," Rosa said. "The weeds did not ask your permission to grow. They did not wait for you to be ready. They simply grew, because that is what neglect produces. It always produces something, just never what you wanted." She walked to the dying plant and touched one of its leaves gently. "And this is your ambition. It did not disappear. It cannot disappear, not completely. But without water, without daily action, without you showing up for it even when you don't feel like it, it gets smaller. It gets weaker. And one day, if you wait long enough, the weeds will simply take the space where it was trying to grow." Sofia felt something loosen in her chest, not painfully. The way something loosens when a truth finally arrives that you have been almost knowing for a long time. She sat down on the step, right on top of the weeds, and said quietly, "I've been waiting to feel ready, and I never feel ready." Rosa sat beside her. "Nobody does," she said. "Readiness is not a feeling that comes before you begin. It is a feeling that comes from having begun. You will never feel ready sitting here. You will only feel ready after you have opened those shutters and done something, anything, even badly, even imperfectly, even just for 1 hour." She was quiet for a moment. "Sofia, your grandfather built that workshop with money he saved for 11 years. He did not wait until he felt ready. He simply worked and saved and worked and saved, and one day he had enough and he built it. He left it to you because he believed you would use it, not plan to use it, use it." That night, Sofia could not sleep. She lay awake and thought about all the mornings that had become afternoons, all the afternoons that had become evenings, all the plans still sitting in notebooks, all the versions of herself she had imagined that were no closer to real than the day she had first imagined them. She whispered to the ceiling, "If I don't start now, not tomorrow, now, the weeds will own this too." The next morning, before the sun had fully risen, Sofia got up. She walked to the workshop. She stood at the door. She felt the familiar resistance. Not yet, not ready, just one more day, and she opened the shutters anyway. Dust fell. Light came in. It looked nothing like the business she had imagined. It looked like a room full of old tools and cobwebs and everything still to be done. She started anyway. She cleaned for 3 hours. Her back ached. She broke a nail pulling something apart. She got dust in her eyes and had to step outside twice. But she kept going. The next day she came back, and the next. She pulled out the weeds at the front step. Not all at once, it took several mornings. But she came back every morning until they were gone. She watered the dying plant by the wall every day. It took 2 weeks before she saw new growth. A small green shoot, fragile and new. She almost missed it, but she didn't. Month by month, the workshop came alive. Slowly, imperfectly, with setbacks and wrong turns and days when nothing went the way she had planned. But she came back every morning. She did something every day, even when she didn't feel like it, even when it was small. A year later, the workshop was open. It wasn't the grand vision from her notebooks yet, but it was real. It was running. People from the town came through the door. Her name was above it. And one morning, as she opened the shutters and felt the sea breeze come through the way it always did, she realized something. She felt ready, not because the work was done. The work would never be completely done, but because she had learned, through nothing but daily action, that readiness is not what you wait for. It is what you build, one morning at a time, by showing up when you do not feel like it. Rosa came by that morning and stood in the entrance, looking at the clean step, the living plant by the wall, the open and working workshop. She didn't say much, just, "There she is." And that was enough. Dear listener, Sofia's story is not really about a workshop. It is about you. It is about every person who carries real ambition inside them, and also carries the quiet, comfortable, endlessly patient force of delay. Both of those things live inside you right now. They have always been there. The ambition does not grow by itself. It needs you to show up for it, every day. Especially on the days when you don't feel ready. Especially on the days when something smaller and easier is asking for your attention instead. The comfort, the delay, the do it tomorrow, that grows by itself. It needs nothing from you, just your absence, just one more morning of waiting. And the longer you wait, the more space it takes. So if you are sitting with a dream right now, something you have been planning, thinking about, almost starting, do not wait for the feeling of readiness. It will not arrive before you begin. Begin anyway. Begin badly if you have to. Begin small if that is all you have. Water the ambition seed today. Just today. Because tomorrow it will be a little stronger, and the day after, stronger still. And one morning, without quite knowing how you got there, you will open your shutters and realize the weeds are gone. And something real has grown in the space where they used to be. If this story reached something in you, if something shifted, share it with one person who has a dream they keep saying they will start. They need to hear this today. Don't forget to like, subscribe to Aaron Motivational Tales, and leave a comment below. What is one thing you have been saying tomorrow to that you could start today? Write it down. Say it out loud. Begin. Because the longer you wait, the more the weeds grow. And your dream deserves better than that. So do you.